talking to people and telling people and sharing with people. I like to come in and, to be honest, one of the things that I think about is how can, when you leave here, are you going to be any different? So I don't come into speaking lightly, or I don't take it lightly at all. I always want to make sure that it's something that is going to be relevant, or something that's relevant to me, because I believe that then I can speak with power and authority and then say to you what I'm feeling, and hopefully it will catch on. I will say this, that this particular topic that I'm going to talk to you about, you're either going to love it or hate it. And if you hate it or love it, it's all for the same reason. Either you're going to love it because you think it's something that's relevant and something that you can change about your life. If you hate it, you're going to think it's relevant and it's something you can change about your life, but you don't want to change it. And so we find ourselves in that place, right, where sometimes we don't want to hear the things that we need to get us to the next level. But it is necessary for us to get to the next level. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, is your thinking stinking? Mm-hmm. Is it?
No.
You're thinking.
No. It smells good.
Because it can stink, you guys. It can be, our thinking can really take us down roads that we never thought that we wanted to ever go in. And so this morning I was actually doing a little bit of research. I was like, I wonder how many breaths do you do in a day? And it was like 23,000. We breathe 23,000 times a day. How many times do we blink? We blink 28,000 times a day. But how many times do we think, or thoughts come through our mind? 50 to 70,000 times a day.
Wow.
So more than we breathe, we are thinking and thinking and thinking. Can you imagine? That's double breathing, double blinking. And then I saw this article on this blog that says there are 50,000 thoughts standing between you and your partner every day. 50,000. So you have, just think about the traffic that goes around in your brain, and then here's your partner or your loved one, and there are 50,000 thoughts that will get in the way of you communicating well with them. So when you think about your life, your thinking controls everything. It controls your trajectory of where you're going. If you're going to go high and low, it is up to you then to control it, right? Well, me, I have to, look at myself. I've had some stinky thoughts. Some really stinky thoughts about life. And so I wanted to ask you, or share with you just a couple of my thought patterns and the things that I've gone through. And then I'm going to then show you how you can maybe, clean up some of your thoughts, okay? So the first one is, sometimes I'm a backward thinker. I can't let go. Have you ever been in this place where something has happened in your life and you can't let it go? You rehearse it in your mind over and over and over again. It's extinct. Your thoughts, you can't do anything with it. You can't do anything with it. You can't change anything that you've done. It's the shoulda, the coulda, the woulda thing. But don't you find yourself in that place of, I wish, or I wish I did something different. And you find yourself living in your past. Mm-hmm. I've done that. I'm not sure about anyone else, but I've lived in my past. And then I have a problem with forward thinking. And there's nothing wrong with thinking forward and future thinking. Nothing wrong with that unless you live there. If you're fantasizing about that new corner office, or if you're fantasizing about, I want to do this and I want to do that, I want this vacation. Can you imagine and think about how that could, if you're living in the future, how you're not present in the present? And so then I have one more that it's just who I am sometimes. Sometimes I'm a small thinker. Mm-hmm. And so I was listening to this pastor the other day. I think his name is Bill Winston, and he was talking, and he said, God has this plan for your life. And so some of us are planned to have businesses, are planned to be billionaires and trillionaires. But if you have this small mindset, you will never accomplish the trillionaire. You will never be what God intended you to be, because you're small thinking. So, I have a question for you guys. How many of us are backward thinkers? Okay, we reside there. We can own it, right? How about forward thinkers? You're always fantasizing and fantasizing. And and this is a business organization. We're talking about business. So can you be active in either way? Yeah. Can you be active and really accomplish something? Being in the back, thinking about the backward thinking or forward thinking? No, you can't. How about that small thinking? Sometimes we have that great ideas that come up, and then we say, no, we can't do that, or I'll wait till later, or no, whatever. We have small thinking. But what if we took that thinking and did something with it? Okay? So, negative thoughts. See, here it goes. What happens when you have a negative thought? You have bad attitude. You have limiting beliefs. You have narrow thoughts. Narrow. When the world is out here, we are advancing in technology every day, but your thoughts are narrow. You kill your dreams before you can even start to think about it. We shrink. Do you shrink back? I shrink back. It causes chaos, and it can kill. Do you believe that your thoughts can kill you?
Yep.
They can. Cancer research is showing stress and unforgiveness increases the cancer cells in your body. So our thoughts can kill us. And so I wanted to just share with you some things that I did to kind of change my trajectory of my life. And so the first thing is, one of the things that I had to do was I had to kind of look at my life and say, okay, I need to have 3 things. There are 3 P's. You may want to write this down or take this. These are the 3 P's that help change my life. One is positive thinking. Now that is affirming something within yourself. And so what you need to do is, let's say you have a thought, I'm not good enough. You know that is a negative thought. And so my suggestion is, and the thing that helped me was, I had to accept the thought or reject it. I get to choose what I'm going to think about myself. And once I accept it and reject it, I had to then respond with an answer. It's not enough to just say, I don't agree. But what are you going to say differently about yourself? If I don't like myself, then I'm going to change it and say the opposite of that. So if I'm not good enough, no, I reject that. I am more than enough. In any situation, everything that I need in any situation is already contained within me. I don't have to do anything. So I can walk into a room with confidence and say, I am enough. It's positive thinking. Second, purposeful thinking. Being resolute and persistent and determined. It's safeguarding yourself. So I have a friend. He lost a child in a freak accident, and he blames the hospital for it. So he's gone through a difficult situation. Very hard. So there's a show, I think it was called John Q or something. And it's that movie about something similar to that, right? Yeah. And so I saw him spiral out of control watching that movie. Now he's watched that movie a number of times, so he knows that movie is going to hurt him. He knows that it's going to take him down a road. My movie is terms of endearment. That Deborah Winger and the cancer situation, she had me every time I see it, I cry. So I know that whenever that I see that on the listing, to keep moving and safeguard myself from going out of control. It's being purposeful in my thinking. I'm not going to allow anything to set me on a trail of destruction. No, being purposeful about what I'm thinking about. And I get to then, again, these are things that we choose to do. Now, you're going to get in places where you can't control that. You just end up someplace and you can't control that. But the things that you can control, be purposeful in that. Purposeful thinking. And then the third thing is power thinking. Impactful thinking. Virtuous thinking. Action required thinking. So, another example. I have a friend who she remembers things that she did when she was younger to someone. And so that thought comes back into her mind every now and again. Now the person has not remembered that, has probably forgotten about it, has never, whatever. But she remembers that she hurt someone. And so there's an opportunity for exchange here. You can't go back to that person. You may not even know who that person is anymore. But you have an opportunity when you come to a place where the enemy or you are, when you're condemning yourself about something that you did, that you can exchange it for something. You can say, I am going to do something for someone else. I'm going to pay it forward. I am going to be that person that says, maybe I did hurt that person, but I can go and bless someone else. I can, give someone a hug. I can send a message to someone and say, hey, I hope you're doing well, whatever. It's exchanging the thought. So it moves you outside of yourself and into someone else's sphere where you're helping someone else. So what if you took your thoughts and you said, okay, for each thought, I'm either going to have to use my power thinking, my purposeful thinking, or I need to be a little bit more positive about what I'm thinking of myself. What would happen in your business? We have 50 to 70,000 thoughts going through our minds. What would happen if you cleared those thoughts? And do you know that half of those thoughts are negative thoughts? At least half of those. You see someone, then she is, I wish I heard that. We said that about ourselves. What if we said, wow, she's beautiful, and I'm working on it, I'm gonna get there, or whatever. What if we just changed our thought process and not looked at someone as, as the thing that you want to be, but I'm gonna be the best me that I can be. And I'm going to work on it. I'm going to work harder. And I'm going to get up and I'm going to whatever it is. So you have a choice today. I'm challenging you to take a day, to take a week. And I want you to write down. I want you to get a Post-it note and a big jar. And I want you to write down every time you have a negative thought. That's going to be a lot of writing, you guys. So you may want to do that day rather than that week. I'm telling you. If you're adventurous, maybe the week. But you're going to find that your cup is going to run us over. But on the flip side of that Post-it note, you can take it and say, and look, and say, it's either going to be, I need to change the positive to a positive thought, or a powerful thought, or impact thought. And I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to write that positive thought. Do that power thought. Or I'm going to be purposeful to not really find myself and safeguard myself and put myself in that place. But with there being 50 to 70,000 thoughts flowing, it is more than your breathing. It's more than your blinking. And I blink. I feel like I'm always blinking. So when I saw that, it was a provocative subject to me. It stimulated my thought process that if we could be a little bit more thoughtful. Safeguard ourselves. Just do a little bit more of making sure that we control what we're thinking, that we could conquer the world, that we could, the ideas that we have are endless. Gosh, can we move the crowd of the negative thoughts and just have ideas? That's where we brainstorm. That is where we really move and we get into not stinking anymore. Because we're stinking right now. If we get a chance to kind of like clean it up a little bit, smell fresh and new and do those things, and we can only do that when we birth something. And it's time for us to birth something, and you can't do that with negative thoughts. Thank you guys so much.